Well, hey there.
Hi.
I was just posting the link in. Hey, welcome to another of our shows, the Face the Music shows to support state legislative candidates across the country. I am so thrilled to be here with Lissa Geiger Shulman from the great state of Pennsylvania. We are here to have some music and to listen to Lissa. And of course, Lissa's not alone. That is so sweet. It's great to have the family there too. I saw your other child, I think your other son, walking around in the background too.
Yeah, I think we'll see a few pop in.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have so much fun at these shows, and it's just great to be able to do these shows for you. And this is such an important race. And Philadelphia, I mean, Pennsylvania is one of the most important battleground states in the country, and we need you to win. So first of all, what is your son's name?
This is Levi.
Levi, nice to meet you, Levi. Yeah, this is just an opportunity to kind of take some time out and maybe a little, decompress a little bit, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, that sounds great. There's just a lot of partisanship. The hustle and bustle of campaign schedule is pretty crazy, and I know a lot of folks are a little overwhelmed with everything going on in the news and politics, but really glad to be able to kind of relax and enjoy some music for the next hour.
Well, then that's what we're going to do. We're going to really kind of not, get caught up in all of the stuff that's going on. Maybe we'll... there might be some references to some of it, but it'll be through music, and that's a different way to kind of process all this stuff, right? So, if I kick it off, and I'll play some music, and then we'll come. I'll bring you back up, and we'll chat for a little bit.
Sounds great.
Okay, great. Thanks, Lissa, and nice meeting you, Levi. All right. So, all right. Well, I think the right way to start this out is I got a new album, and I'm going to be playing a couple songs from that new album. This is our 31st show for state legislative candidates across the country, and we've loved doing all these shows. We've worked with artists all over the country and with state legislative candidates who are just really amazing. I think one of my favorite parts of these shows, as much as I do love the music, I love hearing from the candidate. I know that's kind of crazy, but we'll talk more about that in a bit. So I think to start this off, I'm going to do something ridiculously optimistic. Fried shrimp, clams, some Maryland crabs, a big old bucket of beer. Waitress comes around and says, "Is everything alright? Do you never ever never know all the places you'll go, all the things that life will show? Just never know. You never ever never know. Just learn to take it kinda slow. Take every chance you get to grow. You just never know." There's a long road to hoe. Just take a look at your big toe. Take off your shoe and go. Kick back, enjoy the show. You never ever never know all the places you'll go, all the things that life will show. Just never know. You never ever never know. Just learn to take it kinda slow. Take every chance you get to grow. You just never know. Everything you wanna know, to the airport you should go. The information desk is key. set your heart and mind free. And the answers you will find, they're all locked up in your mind. They were there all along. That's the point of this year's song. You never ever never know all the places you will go, all the things that life will show. Just never know. You never ever never know. Just learn to take it kinda slow. Take every chance you get to grow. You just never know all the places you will go, all the things that life will show. Take every chance you get to grow. You just never know. Woo! All right. So I'm a big fan of this singer-songwriter named Billy Bragg. And Billy Bragg, you know, if you don't know him, he's a UK-based singer-songwriter. He's known as much for his progressive activism as his music. He had some big hits on the radio in the 90s. And I saw him speak at this folk conference back in the beginning of 2017. And what he said, I think, just really makes sense for the moment that we're in. He said, "For those of us who want to do good in the world, our real enemy is not communism or capitalism. It's not even what's going on right now. You know, our enemy is cynicism. It's that feeling that no matter what we do, nothing is ever going to change, that everything is going to remain the same, and that all politicians are alike. And the antidote for cynicism is empathy." So, you know, I started thinking about the creative process. What we do, what we all do, is we iterate. We iterate until we develop a new perspective. And the first time I did that was with this song. Play the fool again, let love slip through my hands again. There I go again. I feel I've lost my best friend. I never learned, but I ask why. Always burn every time I try. No matter what we fear, no matter what we do, one can't love enough for two. I tried so hard, I tried everything. I cried so hard, I gave you everything. So concerned, was it a lie? Then you turned, didn't say goodbye. No matter what we feel or what we go through, one can't love enough for two. We cross our lines, we dot our T's, we pass our time so foolishly. Whoa, no, never learn, but some ask why. then we'll burn after we die. No matter what we feel, no matter what we do, one can't love enough for two. No matter what we feel, no matter what we do, one can't love enough for two. Yeah. So I'm going to play my newest song. The song is also on this album I did. Yeah, it's I started writing this song when my wife is actually working on a campaign in Arizona. She is living there, so I live in we live in California, and she moved there temporarily to work on this campaign in November, and then the pandemic hit. And I realized that I was closing all my emails and I was saying goodbye to people on Zoom and stuff like that, all in the same way, and got together with a friend of mine, Viola Krause, and this song came out of that. When the world is a little bit colder, you can be the blanket for me. When this world is a little bit darker, you're the light I can see. If your arms cannot hold me, it's your love I still feel, and your heart is the only beating thing that is real. Stay safe, stay safe, until you're home here with me. Stay safe, stay safe. Home is where you should be. I remember what it was like before everything changed in such a short time. We hardly talk now. We should be able to agree. Have we forgotten what's important? We argue endlessly, but we're still human, and it's not right. We all want the same thing. Stay safe, stay safe, until you're home here with me. Stay safe, stay safe. Home is where you should be. Home is where you should be. Until you're home here with me. So speaking of staying safe, I grew up in Florida, and I remember going there a couple years ago, and I noticed that there was flooding in places that there was never flooding before. And downtown Fort Lauderdale, Las Olas Boulevard, they were saying, oh, it's the the harvest tides are in. I'm like, that never happened the whole time I was growing up there. Now, with like freakish hurricanes and all the fires on the West Coast, and so this song was inspired sitting at a park and playing some music, and I noticed all these little animals who were there, and I realized how it's an analogy for every animal, that they're vulnerable. So anyway, there's a cute little animated video for this, and I know that the environment is part of Lissa's platform, so I wanted to play this song as well. Sitting in my garden chair, there's a roly-poly over there, touching many rows into a ball. There's no plan B for the roly-poly. Got a feeling I'm headed for a fall. Rising tides will sink our shores, bumblebees won't buzz no more, butterflies won't have a place to rest. Sink or swim, will we still care? Will the roly-poly still be there if we say we've done our very best? The garden grows all our food, the roly-poly lives there too. Like me and you, he wants grandkids too. Do I choose to sit and wait, where the choices that we make? Is there something more that we can do? Can I make a difference? It's what happens next. Yeah, there's some things I could do. Rising tides will sink our shores, bumblebees won't buzz no more, butterflies won't have a place to rest. Sink or swim, will we still care? Will the roly-poly still be there if we say we've done our very best? Can we handle what will happen next? All right. Okay. So I kind of felt like we would get to this point where finally the fever would break. Finally something would happen. The fever happened to break. I think hopefully we'll look back on the moment when the president developed COVID, and I certainly do not wish him ill. I'm serious. I do not agree with his policies or his ranting or the way he's talked about the pandemic at all. But I thought that maybe that was the moment when we look back. That might be the moment when the country will have truly shifted, and looking at how he handled the pandemic so poorly that he himself got it, by not wearing masks, by having all these events where others got sick too. I was thinking about all that, and that just means the percentages are someone's not going to fare well. So hopefully that's the changing of the course of not just this election, but how we all care for each other in this time. So look, I knew that there would be eventually a moment when we would come to a reckoning. I'm hoping that was it. The Prince knew Machiavelli. Have you no sense of decency? You can't have morals when there's no ground. Chicken Little came a-calling. Pinocchio's nose is growing. The Emperor's not wearing any clothes. But this is real. You just don't see. There's a long arc of justice in history. There's something you just don't see. It's that we know truth will set us free. Joseph Goebbels was deformed. Nobody learned from Animal Farm. 1984 taught us double speak. Just how did we get here? Ignorance does not seem like bliss. It's a messed up repeat of history. You will be you, I will be me. There's a long arc of justice in history. There's something you just don't see. It's that we know truth will set us free. I may be blue, you are just mean, and we know truth will set us free. I got one more song, and before I play that song, I just have one thing to say is that, what we'll hear from Lissa is Lissa and I will talk about, some of the parts of her platform. And, what you'll hear normally from candidates is why they run. What you won't hear, let's just talk about Lissa. Lissa's got 2 small children. And the amount of time it takes to run a campaign is ridiculous. I mean, it takes time away from her family. Takes time away from her job and her friends. I mean, it is 3 children. Okay, there you go. Thank you, Lissa. 3. Lissa's just a little crazy, but in a good way. But a little crazy. And, so anyway, if you folks are listening to this and you can afford it, if you have a job, if you have the economic means, please, donate what you can to Lissa's campaign. State legislative races, they have smaller budgets. Your donation goes significantly further than in these bigger races for Congress or the presidential race or stuff like that. This is how you can have a big impact. And if you don't have the financial resources and you have time is really important, because it's just a simple math equation. If you can go on knock on doors virtually, or make some phone calls, as we say, for Lissa, it'll make a huge difference, because every phone call cleans up the database. Every phone call is important, even if you don't get a hold of someone, But when you talk to someone, the chances are that you can convince someone, give them some information about their, when the voting deadlines are, or what Lissa's platform is, or just making them familiar with their name so they just go down the ballot and they vote. It's kind of important. So this is my subtle way to say, it's time to tell you all, it's time to get your acting gear. It's time to tear down fear, do something now. The moment has arrived, we can tell we're alive, and do more than survive. Do something now, it's time we do something, do something, do something now. Do something, do something now. Don't just bitch and moan, time to get on the phone. To be sure, just knock on doors. It's forward, ho. I was thinking when it's safe, knock on doors. Do something now. Do something now. Polar bears can't swim forever, guns killed 7 kids today. 10 more lives, yeah. He's a Russian spy. Women's rights are being stripped away. It's time we do something now. 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 I'm gonna tell you all, it's time to kick your ass in gear. All right. And with that, let's bring up Lissa. And I voted today. I think you can see my little sign, a little sticker somewhere. There it is. It's behind the microphone. Hey, Lissa, welcome back.
Hi.
Oh, hold on. I can't hear you because... Okay, great. Welcome back. And that's Levi again.
Yep.
Hey, Levi. Nice to see you. So let's start at the beginning. What inspired you to do this craziness with 3 children?
Yeah, sure. Well, I think 2 things. One is my experience as an educator and a former teacher, and really feeling like just all children need the good, solid foundation that early childhood education brings. That's my most recent professional experience was around advocating for expanded pre-K and quality childcare programs. And, I'm living it. I'm seeing every day the difference those make. And knowing that when I was teaching middle school, so many of my students didn't really have that social and emotional foundation, and it made it such a challenge in a lot of cases to remediate things and to really push to the next level. So I think that, and then advocating around paid family leave, which was my and a campaign that I was working on, and reading so many articles about why issues facing working women, working families, as you can hear, just aren't getting the priority that they need in Harrisburg.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. It's so important. And, and also feeling like, so having someone like yourself as an advocate who is living that experience, it comes with such, it's such force. So that is great. So, but it also, what we're seeing now is around the issues around healthcare.
Yeah.
And I'd love to hear your thoughts around, kind of in Pennsylvania, what could be done from a state legislative perspective around healthcare.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have to increase access to healthcare generally. I've been talking a lot because of the pandemic, specifically about COVID testing. We've seen other states that have really stepped up their leadership and expanded testing capacity, converting university research laboratories, for example, into clinical laboratories so that testing is widely available. Talked about when my children got a bit of a cough and a cold this summer, and how we were told by our pediatrician, well, we don't really have the capacity for testing, so just hold off another day and we'll see if it develops into something. And to me, that's awful. We need to have universal testing for COVID and treatment. The best treatment available should be available to everyone at no cost, in my opinion.
And that certainly can come from the state legislature to, to initiate and pass legislation around that. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then just making sure that everyone has health care and that the costs don't continue to rise. We're seeing it on private plans, right and left, that cost sharing, whether it's deductibles or copays, the cost of prescription drugs just skyrocketing. And that's something that the state can absolutely be passing legislation, whether it's around bulk purchasing of drugs and capping prices in some cases, or whether it's around expanding Medicaid to vulnerable populations like individuals with mental health and substance use disorders, or postpartum moms who right now get kicked off their insurance 6 weeks after delivering a child. And there's a big initiative around expanding that to at least a year, which is something I'm very supportive of.
And those are the kind of things that we can do with majority.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So, I had my roly-poly song about the environment, about climate change, and I know that climate change is one of the, the primary focuses of your issues on your website. I'd love to hear kind of your statement about what you feel about what's going on with climate change, and again, how can this, from passing legislation, what can we do better?
Yeah. So much we can do better. Pennsylvania is really far behind from having, the chair of our environmental committee in the House, who is a climate science denier, doesn't believe that humans have caused climate change, to, refusing to participate in RGGI, which is a regional initiative around reducing carbon emissions. We're one of the few states in our region that hasn't joined that agreement. So there are a number of things I think we can do in Pennsylvania. We've really bought into the natural gas boon, which, originally was proposed as a bridge to clean technology. But unfortunately, we haven't used it to continue that bridge and really invest in expanded solar and wind, huge opportunities in both of those in southwestern PA where I am, and really making sure that we're not continuing to subsidize the fossil fuel industry and the plastics industry, which unfortunately is what Harrisburg's been doing in the midst of a global pandemic. They're making these truly fiscally irresponsible decisions to give corporate handouts to those industries rather than help people and rather than help advance a transition to clean energy.
And this is the thing that I'm more irritated about than anything. It's not a pet peeve. It's like it's a competitive advantage for the government to provide incentives for industry when something changes, whether it's a healthcare crisis or it's climate change. Yeah. We have an opportunity to lead, and we're really smart, hardworking people, and with incentives, with a little bit of a boost, with it something that we can really take advantage of. So I think this is an opportunity that we're missing.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, one of the things on your platform really did get my attention, and I want to make sure that we bring it up because I'm particularly, I think what underlies all of our rights, what all of our opportunities, is making sure that we have access to a government that is representative of us. And I think the words on your is you talked about fair districts, campaign finance reform, and under the banner of government reform. I'd love to hear your comments around this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know Harrisburg because I've worked there both on the inside as a chief of staff to a state legislator and on the outside as an advocate for early childhood education. So I have seen how broken it is. I was on the inside during the last round of redistricting, and just hearing the conversations that would happen around carving up municipalities, trying to carve certain individuals out of a district to keep political rivals apart, or keep somebody's preferred municipality in their district. That should not be happening. Politicians should not be picking their voters. Voters should pick the politicians. So having an independent redistricting committee, I think, is absolutely critical. And it's something that, when I come into the legislature, we're going to be in the thick of redistricting, and making sure that we're not just pushing it down the line, we'll deal with that next time around, I think is absolutely critical. It's something that we have to deal with immediately when we get in.
And like for anybody who's watching right now, this issue is so important. And so what happens with the census happening this year, it triggers redrawing the district lines, both for the state legislatures and the congressional districts. And so the the lack of representation, not just in Pennsylvania as a state, but also in the House of Representatives, this will be in place for another decade. So we have an opportunity right now to change that. So this is why it's not important just to vote, but it's important to make sure others get, to influence your neighbors and your friends and the people that you happen to bump into in the grocery store, and make sure that you vote. Yeah. So, I'd like to make sure that we just go over some of the upcoming deadlines that are happening here. And
yes.
So maybe, I'm not from Pennsylvania, but
sure.
But maybe you can walk through these.
Yeah, absolutely. So the deadline to register to vote or update a registration if you need to change your address, probably the major reason to update a voter registration, is coming up on Tuesday. That's October 19th. And folks can do that online at votespa.com. I think we'll be posting that again shortly here. So we definitely encourage folks, if you are able to do it online, that's the fastest and easiest for our already burdened elections workers in the various county departments of elections. But if you can't do it online, there's also a paper form you can print and mail in, or folks can reach out to our campaign if they need a form dropped off to them. Then requesting a vote by mail ballot or an absentee ballot. And again, Votes PA walks you through which type of ballot you'll need depending on why you're choosing to vote that way. Those requests must be received by October 27th, although we are strongly encouraging people to apply for those sooner if they can. Just so it has plenty of time to reach, the ballot has time to reach them in the mail, and they have time to return the ballot by mail. But the deadline for that is Tuesday, October 27th. And then returning that ballot has to be postmarked by November 3rd and received by the elections department then by Friday at 5 p.m. We are strongly encouraging people, again, to either drop off their ballot or postmark it much sooner than that, really the day after you get it if you can. And then finally, there are some early voting sites, both downtown Pittsburgh. The County Department of Elections office has business hours Monday through Friday, as well as the next 2 weekends on Saturday and Sunday. And then for folks who are near House District 30 in the North Hills of Pittsburgh, the North Park Ice Rink is the closest early vote location to District 30. And that one is open not this weekend, but next weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, all the way till 7 p.m. on Sunday. So after the Steelers game, come on down, cast your ballot, or drop off your mail-in ballot.
You did that a lot better than I would have done that, for sure. So today I filled out my mail-in ballot, and I walked it over to the main location where I live, and I dropped it off, and I got my sticker. Mm-hmm. Again, there's my sticker. I don't know.
Yep.
Can't really see it that well, but yeah, so it was such a good feeling, like after all the stuff that's going on, to be able to, to drop that ballot in personally and to know that it's going to count, so yeah, do it. Just go get your vote done early.
Yep. We've already cast our ballots. My husband and I requested our vote by mail ballots. We dropped them off last weekend at the North Park Ice Rink when they were open for early voting, and it was so quick and convenient. They had parking right there. You walked up, there was no line. There were, a trickle of people, but that was plenty, easily staffed to accommodate folks turning out to vote. So.
I have a couple of friends, and what they've decided to do is they take responsibility for 3 or 5 people. And they make sure, first of all, that they're registered and that they have a plan to go vote, and they really track them. And they, to find out, especially if they're some folks may not be engaged. It's the people that you're not hearing from, the people who, maybe because there was 100 million people who were eligible who didn't vote in 2016. So right. those are the people who we want to, look, people are interested in this election, but there are people who will not vote, and finding those folks is really important. And then just making sure that they actually did vote. That sticker, make sure they get the sticker.
Yep.
So
yeah, we've really been encouraging folks each week on our social media to think about different groups of people they might want to reach out to, whether it's students that they know of, their grandparents, their teachers, their school bus drivers, all the folks that they might see. I know we're seeing a lot less people, obviously, due to the pandemic, but folks they come across in their normal interactions, and asking them, have they voted? Do they have a plan to vote? It's so critical.
so important. Yeah. Well, as we started off saying, I think it was before we actually started the live feed, this is the most important election really in our lifetime. This is the time where, we can change course, and it doesn't just change course for the United States. It puts a marker for the whole world. So this is just so important. All of our lives will be personally affected, whatever happens in this election. So, and Lissa, you're going to win. I just thought I'd put that out there right now. You're going to win. And that means you're going to have 3 children and be a state legislator.
Yep. That's an underrepresented voice in our state legislature. There are not many folks thinking about young children, young families, and that's the important new perspective that I'm excited to bring to Harrisburg.
Well, I am really excited about your campaign. I'm excited that you're running. When I play these shows, I talk about losing my cynicism, and I have. People just the people who stepped up for public service. It's unfathomable that people have stepped up all over the country, and that you've stepped up. So thank you. So with that, so my friend Jonah, I so dearly love Jonah. I reached out to Jonah at some point during last year, and I said, Jonah, I'm thinking of doing these shows, and he was so receptive of this idea. And so, I wish I would have brought him on sooner, but this is the first show that I'm playing with Jonah. Jonah is an international touring musician. He's got a very large fan base. He's just exceptionally talented, and I'm privileged to have him play with us. So I'd love to bring Jonah on to perform some music for us.
Hey everybody. Hey Lissa, all the volunteers, Pete, of course, thank you for having me here. Very, very proud and grateful whenever the music can be involved this closely with activism. This year more than any other, we need not just to win, we need landslide. So, Lissa, I'm going to go ahead and put it out there too. You're going to be part of that. Blue wave, let's get this country back to some semblance of sanity and then keep pushing from there. Here's a tune called Don't Give Up, sending out to all of you. I know I could never really know the way you're feeling, but I'll try. And I know things or you might not be who or where you want them, and that's fine. Just cut away the noise, listen for that voice. Don't give up, no matter what now. Don't you stop, don't give up. Don't give up, no matter what now. Don't you stop, don't give up. 'Cause we all want a world where all our lives might really matter. And if you don't, then quiet please, so we can fix this world before it shatters. We gotta figure this out. With you making all that noise, then we won't. 'Cause somebody's sick and somebody's sad, or they're missing their kid, or they're missing their dad, and someone's getting beat up just for being who they've been since they were born. just for being who they've been since they were born. So don't give up. Anyone who's out here with me, sing it to each other softly. Don't give up, no matter what now. Don't you stop, don't give up. Don't give up, no matter what now. Don't you stop, don't give up. Don't give up, Lissa. Don't give up, no matter what now. Don't you stop, don't give up. Don't give up, no matter what now. Don't you stop, don't give up. Let's not give up. Thank you for listening. Thank you for caring. I'm going to send this one out to the people who help other people. That's what I think we're here to do. This one's about that. It's called Everyday Angels. If you're lost or wandered way too far from home, or if you ran away because of something there, I'm sending this out to you. If you're lonely or you're scared, or worried that you're going way too fast or to nowhere, no matter who you are or what you did or didn't do, know that you are loved. No, it's not too late. You might get tired, stay inspired, and go up in an ocean of stars. Back to the magic of our angels. We're everyday angels. I am yours and you are mine. Always falling, always flying, always angels all the time. See, Molly could have been like Holly, but they're from Texas, not Miami. They stopped in San Francisco, atop the Golden Gates. I wish someone had been there to tell them it's okay to be scared, to hold their perfect hands and say it's not too late, that you might get tired, so stay inspired and go up in an ocean of stars. Back to the magic we are, 'cause we are angels. We're everyday angels. See, I am yours and you are mine. We're always falling, but we're always flying. Always angels all the time. I'm yours and you are mine. We're everyday angels. All day, all the night. Everyday angels. We are angels. We are angels. See, I am yours and you are mine. We're always falling, always flying, always angels all the time. Be everyday angels to one another. Please, please, please. I think we got time for one more. Aw, love your energy and message too, Linda. That rules. Thank you. I didn't know these little comments are coming up until I saw Linda's. So cool. Thank you. That was really sweet. You can find me on the internets. My name is Jonah Matranga, and I have a very strange name. So even if you misspell that wildly, you will find me. Just add the word music. This is the only job I've ever had. It's how I raised my daughter. I've been doing this about 25 years now. And I feel very grateful again to be a part of this campaign. I'm releasing a single, actually. All of the money is going to go to this last-minute push in contested races to help poll workers and to help protect the results if we get to that point. So, stick with each other. Love y'all a lot. This one is called This Is Water. It's about really getting realistic about the world we live in. Because I think until we are realistic about it, until we can agree on some basic concepts of what is happening in our culture right now and in our world via the climate, via women's choice, via black people and giving them rights, and brown people and giving them rights, and gay people and giving them rights. And there's a lot of injustice, and we can only sit around being mad about it for so long. We need to get involved. So here you go. Thank you, everyone, for being involved, for caring. Love you a lot. Sometimes there's a hidden cost. Sometimes there's a secret master. Sometimes lives are lived and lost in invisible disaster. This is water, this is air. This is really everywhere. Do you get it? Do you care? This is water. Growing up poor is dirt. Gotta know if you get hurt. You can call 911, but nobody's gonna come. Tell the truth to yourself. Tell it to somebody else. If we're gonna make it through, gotta find something new. So what are you gonna bring? What are you gonna do? Listen to the sun, to the earth, to the ocean, to the sky. Find a way for you and I to stay in love and stay alive with a one, with a worth, with emotion, with a try. Find a way for you and I to stay in love and stay alive. This is water, this is air. This is really everywhere. Do you get it? Do you care? This is water. When I hear people say we're living in a land of laws, I wonder if they understand how it really works, because nothing good about a law if it don't apply to kings. Nothing good about a song if it ain't a choice to sing. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna bring? Let's bring it. Listen to the sun, to the earth, to the ocean, to the sky. Find a way for you and I to stay in love and stay alive with a one, with a worth, with emotion, with a try. Find a way for you and I to stay in love and stay alive. Stay in love, we've got to. I know it's scary, but we gotta stay in love. Stay in love. This is water, this is air. This is really everywhere. Do you get it? Do you care? This is water. Oh! Listen to the sun, to the earth, to the ocean, to the sky. Find a way for you and I to stay in love and stay alive. We're the one, we're the worth, we're the motion, we're the try. So find a way for you and I to stay in love and stay alive. Let's stay in love, let's stay alive. Thank you for having me a part of this. Any Democrats out there, any progressives out there, I will sing for you anytime and in support of you. Love you all a lot. Thanks again, Pete.
Woo! Jonah! What a great set of songs, Jonah.
That was real fun. Thank you so much for having me on.
All right.
Awesome.
All right, I just put Jonah on mute because that's where the echo's coming from. But I'm gonna wait. Go ahead, Jonah.
Okay, I turned my volume down, so hopefully this gets a little better.
Oh, that's much better.
Is that
Okay,
better?
so we have a couple things that we wanted
I
to
just
say.
wanted to say thank you. I didn't have anything else to say, but Lissa, your baby is super cute. I love that. And
Thank you.
Thanks to y'all for showing up. Let's keep showing up and turn this country around.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And thank you for showing up too. So before we wrap up, I think I just wanted to say again, this is the moment that we have, and to it is in the window now of early voting, and people just get your ballots out. Make sure that your friends are registered. Lissa, do you have anything else that you'd like to say?
Yeah, just make your plan to vote if you haven't done so already. We talked about getting your friends to make their voting plans, and make sure we follow through. I think that's really, really critical. And then finally, if folks are able to lend some time, we really could use it for this final 3 weeks. We're hearing from folks who have heard about our message, funded by grassroots donor, like the folks who have been contributing during this, and like folks who have contributed at tons of other, small dollar donations. That's helped to fuel our message, and it's resonating with people, but they still need to hear from us one more time to remind them that now's the time to vote for me, and here's how to do it, and here's how to make their plans. So we'd love for folks to sign up. I think there's links in the comments to sign up, to make phone calls, to send text messages, things that can be done virtually, or of course, if you're in the Pittsburgh area, to come door to door with us, socially distant, of course, with masks, with hand sanitizer, but to make sure that we're getting the word out every way we possibly can.
So, and before we wrap up, I also want to thank Linda and Jen, who are at the top of the screen. Linda and Jen have been volunteering for all of these shows, and without them, these shows would not happen. They've been so supportive, and I feel like we've made a difference. So then that's the thing. It's like whatever people can do to make a difference, people are contributing in so many different ways. And I also I want to mention Carver. So Carver is one of the unsung heroes for this effort for Lissa's campaign. He's the campaign manager, and the campaign manager is just a really, really hard job. I know. That's what my wife is doing. She doesn't have that title. Arizona won't let her keep the title, but yeah. So I totally understand. Carver, thank you for your work.
But just thank you guys for joining us. I mean, all the work that I do, it is hard. It's long days, but it's incredibly meaningful when I get to work alongside a fantastic candidate like Lissa, and when I get to work with fantastic volunteers and grassroots supporters like you guys. So yeah, this is all for a really great cause, and I appreciate everything you guys have done for us tonight.
Well, thank you everyone for watching. This is our last of the series that we're doing, and they couldn't have ended any better. I am so honored to have Jonah here. Lissa, I'm so excited about your campaign, and thank you everyone for the work that you do, and for helping make this place just a little bit better. So
yeah, Lissa, we'll see you when you're in office.
Yeah,
we'll be watching.
Everyone.
all right, thanks for watching, everybody.
Be safe.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.